Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Las Vegas Advisor Weekly Update with Anthony and Andrew. Today is Thursday, January 19th, 2023. A lot of entertainment news going on in this week, Anthony.
Right.
What's happening in Vegas?
There's just been a whole gaggle of entertainment news this week for some reason. Everything coming together. Biggest news being a horror attraction at Area 15. If anybody doesn't know what that is, I don't know what it is either. It's some sort of an entertainment artsy complex.
Yeah, it's got a lot of art installations. There's a ride that we reported on that shoots you up in the parking lot.
They just keep adding things there.
Yeah.
And some people think it's really great. I think it's okay. I've been there a couple of times, but they're expanding. So obviously a lot of people like it, and they're expanding. And the big news, what they're bringing in is the company that runs Universal Studios is going to build this year-round 111,000 square foot year-round horror-focused attraction. And, that kind of makes sense because Universal Pictures, they've done, Frankenstein and Dracula, and they're going to be using all that content to make sort of like, I guess, a Halloween house that's going to run 365, right?
That sounds really cool, and I've been to Area 15 a few times, once with you, and we made it to the bar, we had some beers, but anything they do there is immersive and fun.
Yeah.
So
that's the deal behind it. For me, they don't have any video poker machines, so I don't know what to do with myself in there.
That's right. That's right.
But it is an interesting venue and the things they do. This is going to be a pretty big deal. It sounds like, and it's not the only thing. I mean, there's other things going on right now. I just hadn't even heard of this, but I guess close to the new Horseshoe, the former Bally's, there's going to be a BattleBots, some sort of a BattleBots venue. Then there's going to be a Game of Thrones venue. All these things, all coming up all at once. We've got the Formula One paddock being built around the corner there. I mean, all in that area, except for Area 15, which is across the freeway from the Strip.
Well, that's really interesting. I saw a BattleBots slot machine recently, and there was an actual BattleBot encased. So it's something that's happening. And the Game of Thrones slot machines are everywhere.
Yeah.
So
well, I guess it all combines, it overlaps and all. But, now they're going to have these attractions that are based on them. I mean, there's going to be plenty to do in Vegas. Not that there isn't already, but more is coming.
All right, and this is a really interesting one. The city of Nipton has been purchased by Spiegelworld.
Spiegelworld, the gazillionaire.
The gazillionaire. So how does that work, Anthony? They're buying a city.
They're buying a city, population 25.
Okay.
All right, so Nipton is a city in California right across the border from Nevada. So it's about maybe, 60 miles away.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
so it's near Primm.
It's right near Primm.
Okay.
All right, it's like maybe less than 15 miles away from Primm. Into California. And Spiegelworld, which runs, is behind Absinthe and OPM at the Cosmopolitan, Absinthe at Caesar's Palace, OPM at Cosmopolitan, Atomic Saloon Show at the Venetian. Some of the edgiest shows in Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. Absinthe is one of my favorite shows. If anyone gets a chance to see it.
If I have to pick one show, I probably pick Absinthe as the thing. They're just edgy and they're different. So they're going to buy, or they have bought this entire city for $2.5 million.
And what are they going to do with it?
Well, they say they're calling it a Circus Village.
Okay.
All right, the Gazillionaire, who's the guy, the front man for them. They're going to build some sort of a village that's going to be, a performance type thing like year round. Almost like the one we just talked about, horror attraction year round, Circus Village year round. And, some of the things he said, here's what he mentioned. They were going to have a sculpture park, a skydiving club, hula hoop performances,
Sounds
whatever, and some kind of a performance venue.
Yeah.
Somebody here said it sounds a lot like Burning Man, that, it's just going to keep going with these kind of edgy types of things. And I guess, crazy artists will go there and figure things to do, and it'll be another attraction, that's something you can do on the way into Vegas, I guess.
To me, this sounds awesome. I think if they need a mayor, I think I'm ready to go throw my hat in the ring. But geez, this is really cool. They're buying the city, and I've passed Nipton a million times. I'm a little bit disappointed it's on the California side because that means there won't be any gambling.
No gaming, right? No gaming there. But they didn't say if they're going to change the name from Nipton to whatever Spiegelworld or whatever they're going to do. But it's kind of an interesting development.
That sounds really cool, and it sounds like something you stop by Nipton, you stop by Primm. And that could be really invigorating to the whole town.
Yeah, right. It's pregame for Vegas, right?
Yeah. Pregame at State Line.
Yep.
Right. And more entertainment, but this one, shows are closing.
Yeah, more shows closing. Not so good. Bat Out of Hell at Paris.
I wanted to see that.
I wanted to see it too. I mean, it's a musical based on Meatloaf.
Yeah.
You know, the meat, not the food. You know, the
right, the singer,
the Meatloaf albums.
Yeah,
and it lasted a mere 3 months before it closed. They just can't seem to get it going down there. You know, at Paris, they've always tried to. This has always been the connection: Broadway and Vegas. And way back when Paris opened, they opened with The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, and that wasn't the exact. It was called Notre Dame de Paris or something like that. But that lasted for a while. It did really well. And then Jersey Boys came in.
Yep.
After Jersey Boys had its run at Venetian, Jersey Boys came in, and that did well. But then it was just one after another, open, close, open, close. I mean, they had the producers, Hairspray, We Will Rock You, which was Queen, right? And they keep trying, and it just doesn't seem to work. And, you know, I don't know what they're going to do, but we didn't get to see it. You know, now it's touring the world, I guess, and I didn't get there fast enough to see it.
Yeah, me too. That's too bad. I wanted to see Bat Out of Hell. But when I'm at Paris, I like to sit outside at Mon Ami Gabi and watch the Bellagio fountains.
I know. So that's the best part of Paris right there.
Yeah.
But also closing. You know, this is the polar opposite of a 3-month closure. Also closing is Legends in Concert, or it has just closed at the Tropicana.
Right.
You know, Legends is probably the longest running show maybe in Vegas history. It opened in 1983 at the old Imperial Palace, which is now the Link.
Oh, wow.
And way back, they've had they played there and the Trop, and I don't know if they're somewhere in between, maybe Harrah's for a while. They've had over 10,000 shows.
Incredible.
And they say they're going to come back. They will come back. You know, way back when they opened at Imperial Palace, I was friends with one of the original workers there up in lighting, and it was a girl named Karen Hunt.
Oh, yeah?
I actually went out with her best friend.
Okay.
And I got to be friends with Karen, and I got to go up there and watch the lighting and all that stuff that they were doing for the show way back in the early '80s. It was kind of cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Up in the rafters.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's the best seat in the house, man.
All right. That's
But they say
cool.
they're coming back. They're looking for another venue, and I would put my money on them because they've been successful here for, you know, going on 3 decades.
Yeah, well, and we know the Trop got purchased, so maybe that's something going on. And then also, they got the Laugh Factory there, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, did I say 3 decades? It's 4 decades.
Oh, wow.
83 to 23, 4 decades, man.
Okay. All right.
Wild.
All right, and in this week's Survivor update, I know Survivor's over, and in the last 2 weeks we talked about the 2 really horrible bad beats that occurred leading up to the 2 winners.
Yeah, go look at the last shows to relive those bad beats. They were just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but right now Anthony's going to give us an update on the third final person, right?
Yeah, it ended up being 3 guys left.
Yeah.
And 2 of them won, and 1 was aced out. His team lost in one of those bad beats. And we were speculating last week about what happened to that guy. And I said, you know, they probably made some kind of a deal somewhere. Well, it's actually been made public what they did. And they did basically what pros call a saver. All right, and this is what you do a lot in a contest like this or in a tournament when you get down to a final table is the participants will get together and they'll go, let's do a saver. So in this case, there's $6 million at stake, $6 million plus, and they go, why don't we save? Each person saves $1 million. That means no matter what happens, if we split it 3 ways, we split it 3 ways. But if anybody's out, whether it's 2 of us out or 1 of us out or whatever, everybody gets $1 million off the top, and then whoever's left cuts up the rest of it, you know, equally, or if another deal is made. So it happens all the time.
Sounds like a great deal, right? You made it that far, just everybody gets money now.
So they didn't say exactly what their number was. I would guess, I mean, if I were involved, you'd be something like, okay, yeah, let's do $1 million apiece. Or it might have been 500,000, who knows? Or they might have made a deal to just cut it 3 ways anyway. But it sounds like they didn't. It sounded like they played for the extra amount, which is like the usual way of doing it.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to win it. Everybody wants to continue to compete. Everyone wants to get rewarded for winning a thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, so don't cry too much for the guy who got knocked out. He got knocked out, but he did fine.
Yeah. Here's another update on something that we have previously talked about on a previous episode, the episode where we talked about Archie KARRAS, the guy who took a small loan and ran it all the way up to $17 million. We had a lot of people asking about that story, and you can find it in the book, The Man with $100,000 Breasts, but we do have an update on it. So, Anthony, what's the update?
Well, we told the story. I won't go rehash it again, but essentially he played pool at the Rum Runner.
Yeah.
And that's a local bar here. Go back and watch that episode. And we talked about he played Bobby Baldwin, who was a casino executive and a professional poker player and a really good pool player, but not as good as Archie. And Archie, beat him, we said, for who knows, maybe $100,000, and then ran it up to $17 million, then lost it all back. But, that's another story. But since then, so I get a call from a good friend of mine, and he goes, my wife was there in the room.
Wow. Okay.
And I go, okay, great. Tell me about it. Why? He goes, well, she met that night. She was in the room playing pool, and she met Bobby Baldwin's wife, Donna. And they ended up being fast friends. They stayed friends for a long time. But that night was the first time they got together, and Bobby was playing pool against Archie for all this money. And my friend's wife, Roxanne, says Bobby kept sending Donna back home for more money. And every time that they would go, Roxanne would go with Donna, and they would drive back. They'd go to their safe or wherever they went, wherever they had it, and they would bring back more. And she goes, it was a lot more than $100,000.
Okay.
So, I was just I had heard 100,000, maybe a little more, whatever. She goes, it was a lot more.
So maybe Bobby Baldwin was a little bit on tilt.
He could have been. I mean, he kept going. Maybe he saw something, thought he could beat him, or maybe Archie was that good a hustler that kept leaving openings to make him think. But somehow Archie got into him for probably what was closer to $1 million.
Wow.
And, we don't know that for fact, but that's just based on one eyewitness is taking a guess at $1 million.
Okay, so the story is that Bobby Baldwin's wife was sent back to the house numerous times to go get more money.
Yeah.
To come back to the rum runner.
To pay Archie.
Yeah.
So anyway, just interesting. But look, that's the way those guys play. That's the way they roll. Believe me, Bobby's won $1 million or more many times in his life. He can, he could afford it. But it's another little added piece of that story.
Yeah, little gambling history. All right, so we've mentioned many times how we appreciate the comments, and we're trying to address more comments as they come in. And here is one we get frequently, which is, can I come in and pick up the member rewards book now?
Okay, so we're talking about the member rewards book, the coupon book that comes with LVA membership. And the question in the comments was, can I come to the office and pick it up, or do I have to order it by phone or by, on the internet and have it mailed? People don't realize that our office is really kind of a store.
Yeah.
And I mean, certainly, we work out of here, and this is where we produce the products we do and the books and all. But in the front, in the reception area, where Paula works, lovely Paula works in the reception area, we have a store. Yeah. And you can come in and pick up the member rewards. You can join LVA and pick up the member rewards book. You can buy a book, some of these books we talk about and so forth. But you can't do it until tomorrow because we're expecting the member rewards book to come in on January 20th.
Yep.
So,
on Friday.
Yes, absolutely. You can come to the office to pick it up. We love to see you. People come in all the time. They ask for me. I come down. Sometimes I sign something. Sometimes I take a picture. If you're here, we do it together. That sort of thing. So sure, come on in. The address is 3665 Procyon Street, Procyon. We're right behind the reel.
Yep, and you can also just put in Las Vegas Advisor in your Google Maps and come here that way. All right, everybody. And this week's Jackpot of the Week is a very special Jackpot of the Week because it comes from my girlfriend, and I watched it happen.
Well, let's explain. Friends and family.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if a girlfriend, a wife, or something, or whatever, an employee hits a jackpot, they're going to make Jackpot of the Week.
They are going to make Jackpot of the Week. So,
but this is an interesting one. I like it.
Yeah, well, it was really fun. It happened over the holidays, and we were here kind of partying and gambling a little bit.
And she wrote a real letter, so read it.
Yeah, she submitted it to us. So here it is. Hiya, Anthony and Andrew. So while I was in Vegas over holiday, I hit a massive number of 4-of-a-kinds, 20 to 30, maybe more, not an exaggeration. As a cherry on top, I got my second ever royal flush. I'd only gotten my first one in December, so I didn't think it would be coming along so soon. I was dealt the 4, and I turned to Andrew and I said, oh my God, this is it. It's going to happen again. I can feel it. And then it did. So that was pretty awesome. And then, to me, this is the best one. I was dealt 4 aces. I had just started playing Ultimate X, and I was dealt 4 aces, and I turned to Andrew, and I inhaled, and with a gasp, I said, I just need a kicker. The quad with a kicker happened to fall on the 3 times multiplier. It was so much fun. I love you guys, and keep up the hard work. Well, we love you, Christina Grace.
Well, my comments. Well, of course it was fun. Winning is fun.
Yeah.
A royal flush is fun.
Yeah.
Ultimate X is fun.
Oh, my God. It's so much fun.
Right? I keep saying Ultimate X is crack, right?
It is.
Okay, so everybody is like going, really? 30 to 40, 4-of-a-kinds? Maybe more. That's not so out of bounds because she plays. You guys like to play those multi-line games.
That's right.
And I mean, when you're playing 3 lines and 5 lines and maybe 10 lines sometimes, the quads start coming.
Yeah, they do.
You know, I played over the weekend. I played for a couple hours running money through at Resorts World because we might report on this and see what I get for my action. But I was playing 5 line and I hit 13 quads.
Sure.
So, you know, I believe this 100%. I believe the rest of it because there's pictures.
Yeah.
and because you were there.
How long did you play for at Resorts World?
Resorts, probably about 2.5 hours.
Okay, so 2.5 hours, you hit 13 4 of a kind.
Yeah, but playing 5, you know, playing 5 lines.
Sure.
But okay, so looking back at it, she's playing. All right, the whole win was about $740.
Yeah.
But she's playing nickels.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, that's really good. There's nothing wrong with playing nickels. You know, you're definitely the pay tables are going to be worse, but you know, you don't have to be playing quarters and dollars and take a big hit on a bad swing. You know.
We like to say we're low rollers.
Yeah, that's low rolling, but it's a good low rolling play.
Absolutely.
Interestingly, her royal flush was hit on super times pay. You know, we haven't talked about super times pay, which is one of the video poker hybrids where you play 6 coins instead of 5.
That's right.
But you only get paid off on a 5-coin schedule. So that actually you're paying an extra coin for random multipliers that come up in super times pay.
Yeah, and the random multipliers, it seems like they come every few hands. Sometimes you go for a dry spell, but if you play, you'll get those multipliers.
Bob Dancer says about every 15 hands. He says he thinks they come up.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure it varies. But the good thing about super times play is you don't have to do anything different. You play the game the way you would always play the game. There's no strategy differentials. You know, no changes there. So you know that was kind of cool. The 4 aces thing. I mean, who doesn't want to be dealt 4 aces, especially when you're playing multi-hand, right?
Incredible. It was
you
incredible.
Sit there and say, "Give me the kicker, give me the kicker."
Yeah.
You know. So she only got one, but it was on the big one, right?
It was on the multiplier.
So
It's
you
like
know,
magic.
Congratulations, Christina. I'm going to have to hear about it myself about your big night and all of that. But you made Jackpot of the week.
All right. And we also have one more related comment to video poker. This one comes to us from the comments section on our YouTube channel. It says, how do you find out the video poker pay schedules for a certain casino?
All right, that was great. I love seeing that. I'm like, we're going to talk about this. All right, first of all, you can, you know, a lot of people they walk around and they look, you know, they pay attention and they go, okay, I've played here before, and they come back and they remember and they go to their places. But we have a page on LasVegasAdvisor.com. It's called Best Video Poker, and literally the feed comes from a video poker site called VP Free 2. They're really on top of it. They send us the feed, and you can scroll the screen and look at all of the games and see where they are, or you can look at the places you're going to be and see what they're dealing. And it's a great way to, you know, they tell you the denominations, they tell you the games themselves, and then secondarily, you want the Gene Scott's Video Poker Scouting Guide. Once you see what those games are, you can look at the scouting guide, and it will tell you what the return percentages are. Okay. Now, that's not the whole enchilada because you've got to learn to play. Now you're talking strategy cards and everything else and reading books. But if answering this question, how do I find the pay schedules, that's the way you do it. By looking around on your own, by using the Best Video Poker page, and by checking it in Gene Scott's Video Poker Scouting Guide.
Okay. And we'll put a link in the description box if you would like to purchase the scouting guide, and we'll put some links to some of the other things we talked about.
See, here's a cool thing about video poker is that there are all kinds of teaching aids, right? There are teaching aids everywhere. You know, we've got them. Other people have got them. I like to think ours are the best. I know ours are the best. I mean, I know because I've seen them all, and we've made ours the best. But I mean, you can buy these things to make yourself a good player if you want to, or you can just go out there and go wild. Yeah,
go wild, have fun. But I will say, like, I recently, I've been playing video poker for a while, but I recently started like saying, okay, I'm going to learn what to do in Deuces Wild because I didn't know. I was playing it all wrong.
Look, man, you feel better when you know what you're doing.
That's right.
That way, even when you lose, you don't feel so bad.
That's true. And like I always say, I might be down $40 or $50, but I'm up 5 or 6 free drinks.
There you go, man.
So that's it for this week. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you for your comments. We're going to be addressing more of the comments in future episodes. And go ahead, leave comments because it helps us with the algorithm. Anything else to add, Anthony?
Member rewards book in-house tomorrow, January 20th. Come and get them.
Yep, excited for those coupons. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week.